Hi, this is David Turner, and I'm going to talk about how to and demonstrate how to complete this Cloud9 assignment. This is an easy assignment, but just to save you some time and maybe inform you of some things that you might not find out on your own very quickly, that I'm going to record the process of going through this assignment, this Cloud9 assignment. So basically, Cloud9 is like a cloud software development resource. You can develop web applications and using a browser actually to access a virtual machine instance, a Unix-based or Linux virtual machine instance. And so what we're going to do in this class is create a Cloud9 workspace, right? So that would represent an instance of a virtual machine. And we'll call that workspace CSE 322. So to do this, you need to create a Cloud9 account. These accounts are free to begin with. And I might need that page open there, so I'm going to go back. There we go. They have a pay for use version of this service, but we won't need that for this course. We can it's good enough just to use the free version. And you can see here I have several workspaces. This is a workspace I'm using to teach 201, and experimental workspace here, and a workspace I'm using to teach 405. So we can create a new workspace, and I'll call it CSE 322. That's what I would like you to call it. You can leave a description if you like. You can't select private. If you select private, you need to pay for that. That's an aspect of the pay-for-use service. So we leave this as a public workspace. That means other people can see it. They can't necessarily edit it unless you give them permission. But other people can go and look at your code. We're not going to clone it. And here we have a bunch of templates. Now, they have this HTML5 template, and they have a PHP Apache template, and then some other templates, Node.js, Python, and so on. Even WordPress, look at that, C++. But my experience with Cloud9, and I've been using it for a while now, is that these selections just give you some boilerplate configuration code that I find distracting, to tell you the truth. So I always start with a blank template. So I'm going to go ahead and create a workspace. And there we go. See, it's creating a container. Actually, it's probably not an entire virtual machine. You're getting what I think is what do they call it? A Docker container. I think that's what's going on in the background. But I don't know for sure. So there's a README file. It's got a link to some YouTube videos you might want to watch. I've watched one or two of those. And it's helpful to get into the documentation. So I don't need the README. I'm just going to delete that. You might want to save that for those links. Well, you can find those links elsewhere. So here's some stuff that you probably want to leave in there. It's got .c9. That means it's a hidden folder. And by the way, you can look here. This is a command line interface. And you'll see the name of the workspace is CSE 322. But here in the command line interface, the workspace folder appears as workspace, and I'll prove that for you. Like if I do touch index.html, which is a file we need, that'll create the file. You see it creates it under CSE 322. So just demonstrating that this workspace folder, which is in this path, /home/ubuntu/workspace, that folder maps to this display up here, right? So in this tree view, they're just renaming workspace to CSE 322. So you can see I have a Linux command line here. And apparently this is an Ubuntu distribution that we're working under. This index.html file, we can edit it in here. I get out as VI and save it. And if I can also edit it in their editor window here. I can double click on this. There's the hi, bye. And see that dot there? That means it has to be saved. File, save. Look, and the hotkey is Command S. I'm on a Mac. Command S. But in Windows, the save will be Control S. And I got to tell you, that's a bit dangerous to use. Because Control S, if you press Control S, while this pane is highlighted, Control S on Windows will save the file. But if this pane is highlighted, then Control S, and I'll press it right now, Control S will freeze the input. Now I see I'm hitting enter, I hit K, nothing. So to release that, so that Control S it's an old command that controls I believe it just simply controls the input stream from the input stream. So now I use Control S, or like for stop the pausing, I guess. And now it should activate, but it doesn't. So I'm going to do Control Q. I'm sorry, Control S stops the input stream, but Control Q quits. And you can see all the buffered keystrokes that were buffered up just flood out at that point. So keep that in mind. It's an issue if you work on Windows, not so much on Mac, because on Mac you use Command S to save this file. So Command S saves the file, but Command S here does not pause the input stream, but Control S does. In fact, there it is again. Control Q to quit that. And all the Linux commands or Unix commands work here. So clear. It's very convenient. Now we can see this file. We can open this in a browser because, well, I'll start first of all. This our workspace is has a there's a URL, there's a domain name that we can use to get to, and a port number, of course, to get to the web server that's associated, the running web server that's associated with our workspace. Now, to get that URL, the way I do it is I do echo C9, that's uppercase C, _host name. And this is a environmental variable that basically stores, so Cloud9 creates that environmental variable and stores the domain name of this virtual machine that we can then use to access in the browser. You can see it there. This is the workspace name, dash, and then my Cloud9 identity. And you know, I don't know what the -1 is for. I don't get it, but it's there. So let's go to that. And it will fail. No application seems to be running. And I never quite read all this. Maybe I did. But it's because the Apache web server is not running. So we can start it here. We do Apache 2. So Apache 2 is the current version of Apache. We just enter Apache 2 by itself. It starts the web server. Now we hit reload, and there it is, hi and bye. We can make changes to that and just say hello. Command S for saving. Go back and refresh. There it is, hello. So our browser, which is running locally here, is actually is interacting with the web server that's running in our Cloud9 workspace, the virtual machine that we're been allocated. So kindly as a free service, I might add. So that's it. If you want to shut down the web server, you can do that. You have to use Apache 2 -k stop. So there's these command lines to interact with, just like on a regular Linux system. And Apache 2 -k start. That's the, but this is, I believe, the default. So that'll start it up, and this will stop it. And later, you'll have to use MySQL. So it's MySQL CTL command line interface start. That starts the MySQL server. And then MySQL stop will shut down the server. But that'll be coming later, so you'll need that later on. Let's see what else it says in here. And that's it. That's just to get started. It's a simple thing. It's nice. Now, as you do the assignments, let me show you here what I want you to do. The next assignment is called less. And for all of these assignments, you'll need to create folders with code in them. So you can create it here. You can go File, New Folder. Actually, they don't have New Folder there. But if I right-click in here, I think there is New Folder right there. Or you can create it at the command line, mkdir less. You see it shows up in the tree view here. And now in here, you're going to end up creating things. You'll watch. We can cd into less. And once again, I'll use touch to create an index.html file. And you can edit that, in Pico or Nano or VI, or you can just use the editor that's built into the Cloud9 system. It's a JavaScript-based editor, which is very nice, by the way. It does syntax highlighting. I recommend using the Cloud9 editor for that reason. It's pretty useful. So each assignment that you do, you'll do a less assignment, and then you're going to do an assignment called, what is it? Track? Oh, I can't remember now. I'll have to take a look here. JavaScript 1. Oh, these don't have folders. That's a tutorial, but the DOM assignment, you'll need to create a folder for that. So they'll call the document object model. Oh, sorry, that shouldn't be a file. That's a folder. What we want to do is create a folder at this level. So new folder, call it DOM. And now we can, then we can copy stuff there. Copy and paste. As you can see, we can do it from this tree view as well as doing it from the command line. We've got a lot of flexibility there. If we work a lot at the command line, you can maximize that window. It's very convenient. Clear. Got to click in there. Clear works nicely. ls, there it is. ls, there's the DOM folder, the less folder. You can even exit from here. And something to do with JavaScript. So actually I can run JavaScript commands here. If I want to create a new, everything is closed up here. Well, not yet. But we can add a new terminal window down here. And we have access to the system again. Very nice system. So that's it for this video.